Welcome to your weekly energy download. I'm here to help you understand the collective energy that's moving through all of us right now. Think of it like emotional weather that we can all feel. When we name it and understand it, we can work with it instead of against it. We're going to look at what energy we just moved through, what's showing up now as our invitation to grow, and how you can use this information to navigate your week with more flow and less resistance. Let's dive in.
We're first going to talk about the energy that we just moved out of. And we've been moving through this frequency of the gate 15, which is the love of humanity in our sun. And that was paired with gate 10 in our earth, which is the gate of love of self. These two gates together often bring up this beautiful tension between how we show up for others and how true we're being to ourselves. And for many of us, that meant dancing between compassion and boundaries, between being available and being aligned. We were really asked to embrace our natural rhythm. And that's not just poetic language. The Gate 15 carries this ability to accept the full spectrum of human extremes. And Gate 10 reminds us that self love isn't always soft. Sometimes it's fierce. Sometimes it's choosing solitude. Sometimes it's saying no or walking away from what doesn't resonate or serve us anymore. So if you felt that tug between obligation and authenticity, or even caught yourself judging how inconsistent you've been, you weren't doing anything wrong. You were literally being invited to notice that your rhythm is actually sacred, that your timing is divine, that the world needs your unique tempo just as much as it needs your tenderness. And so, layered over that energy, we had the temporary influence of gate 52, which in traditional human design is the gate of stillness. And in quantum human design, it's the gate of perspective. And gate 52 does not play. So this energy often slows us down so that we can see more clearly. It asks us to pause, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And that pause can feel deeply uncomfortable if you're someone who's used to staying busy in order to avoid discomfort. But here's the thing about gate 52, this stillness is not punishment. It's preparation, it's anchoring, it's presence. If you have been feeling like life paused you on purpose, it probably did. So that you could regulate your nervous system, so that you could rest that reactive part of your mind, so that you could receive clarity instead of chasing it. Don't be surprised if some of the biggest aha moments came after a nap, a nature walk, a moment of sitting and staring at the wall and doing quote unquote nothing. My favorite are those shower downloads. And that's how Gate 52 likes to deliver insight when we're finally still enough to hear it. Now, as we move into our current transit, we're stepping into some deeply activating energy, is what I'm going to label it. Gate 39 is in our sun, and that is the gate of provocation. And gate 38, which I was speaking to a little bit, is in our earth, which in traditional human design is the gate of struggle. So these are both, as you can see, these are both pressure gates. They are both in the root center. The sun and earth gates are both in the root center, and they can feel like a push, right? That pressure to move, do. I always say, as above, so below. The head center is a pressure center in that it pressures us to think, answer everyone else's questions, which sometimes frustrates us. And the root center is a pressure to do. And so this push that we're talking about is a push to define what's worth fighting for, a push to confront what's off in your relationships, a push to speak up, to pull back, to question, to challenge, to resist. But the key here is that not every Provocation is productive. Not every struggle is sacred. This is not passive energy. So that gate 39 really challenges us to provoke with purpose, not out of projection. And gate 38 asks us to align our battles with what truly matters, not just react to what's frustrating us in that current moment. So if you feel edgy this week, or if you notice others around you reacting, picking fights, or being a little more sensitive than maybe you're used to them being, this is why. This energy can feel really testy, but it's not about suppression or pretending to be chill. It's about not taking the bait of every emotion that arises, yours or someone else's. You're really being invited to get clearer. What's worth your energy? What is your body saying yes to, even if it's hard? And what fights are actually distractions from your deeper purpose? You may notice this playing out in partnerships, in group dynamics, or even with strangers. There may be a collective mood of restlessness, irritation, or subtle defensiveness in the air. This is a week to practice grace and groundedness, to lead with awareness rather than reaction, to check in with your sacral or your authority before jumping into anyone else's emotional wave. Remember, we're reminded that not everyone knows how to sit with their own discomfort, so they like to project it. And the deeper why behind your efforts, remember to align with that awareness. When people project that discomfort onto us, know that it's not your fault. If you are aware of the energy, you don't have to absorb it, right? Releasing that reactive mind. And so, a few reflection questions to carry you through is, where do I feel provoked? And is it showing me something I value or something I'm avoiding? What struggles in my life feel aligned? And which ones feel like they're draining me without any meaning, really, any purpose? How can I offer myself and others more grace this week without abandoning my boundaries? And lastly, what does stillness want me to remember as I re enter motion? And so, what's going to help this week is getting curious before reacting. That edge that you feel, it might be a sign that something important is surfacing, not something to shut down, but to explore with care, with tenderness. Asking, is this worth my energy, is going to help this week. Both 38 and 39 want your life force to be in service to something meaningful. So let your strategy and authority guide the difference between sacred struggle and draining conflict, creating space to feel safe. Emotional buildup is likely with this energy. So, journaling, breath work, or movement can help transmute the pressure before it boils over. Humor and lightness is also going to help this week. If you can laugh at the tension, yours or someone else's, then you've already alchemized it. What's going to hit this week, what might trip you up, is reacting from frustration, not clarity. That 39 can provoke without realizing it, and 38 can fight without knowing why. So when we skip that pause, that sacred pause that is so important, we often turn to temporary tension. We turn that temporary tension into permanent wounds, right? We're just in reaction of the energy, but that catalyzes conflict a lot of times. I've been having to do better with this with Taylor, because she's been in reaction to this energy, and I've just had to have a lot of grace. Sure. Falling into victimhood also might trip you up. So the shadow of struggle can make us feel like everything is against us. So this week, notice if your inner dialogue sounds like, why me? And just gently redirect to, what is this showing me? What's coming through for me right now? And lastly, trying to fix others might trip you up this week. Everyone is dealing with this energy, and not everyone is equipped to handle it with awareness. So you don't have to be an emotional sponge or a peacemaker right now. Your job is simply to stay in alignment with you. This is a pressure transit. It wants movement, but aligned movement, not compulsive reaction. So let this be a reminder to stay grounded, to stay curious, and to lead with grace, even when things feel, as I said, activated, is what we're going to label that. Keep your head up until next Tuesday. You've got this.
Every Tuesday morning, we gather live in Limitless University for what I call our weekly energy alignment. We start by celebrating wins because your victories matter and deserve to be witnessed. Then we dive into the week's collective energy together, and we close in gratitude, setting the foundation for a week of flow and alignment. The transit report you just heard is one piece of our hour-long gathering. And there's something really special about experiencing this energy work in real time with other humans who get it. You can join us at diamonddripconsulting.com, and you can also find that link in the show notes.